Back with Arlene and Alan Alda. She's the writer, he's the actor. And this is the book, Just Kids from the Bronx, and that's what we're talking about this morning. It's this wonderful, nostalgic return to the borough, the Bronx, named after a Dutchman named Bronx, right? It was the Bronx River. Where did Bronx
Jonas
become?
Bronx, but you know, he wasn't a Dutchman. He was from Scandinavia, but he got his charter to farm the land in the Mott Haven section. 1639, he got it from the Dutch East Indies Company. So maybe it was the West Indies Company, I forget.
So
but,
how did it get from Bronx to Bronx?
Yeah,
okay, I'll tell you the tale that I know.
All right, do tell.
Okay, so his name is Bronx. So you're going to visit Mr. Bronx, or you're going to visit the family, the Bronx. So eventually the whole borough was named after
the Bronx family.
The Bronx
okay.
family. Okay,
that's a good thing for trivia.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't know
now,
that.
it may not be true, but it's what I heard.
Good story.
Okay,
It's a good
So
story.
you were from the Bronx, and Alan from Manhattan, but went to Fordham University.
Yeah.
So when the two of you, you met after you had that cake you picked up off the floor, and you started dating, did you ever go to any of the haunts in the Bronx?
Our haunt in the Bronx was behind Fordham in the wilderness by the Bronx River.
No, the Bronx River and the Botanical Garden and the Bronx Park. We walked.
Talk. It was great.
We're not talking anything
nothing
shady
funny.
here.
No hanky-panky,
No
okay.
hanky-panky. We're talking daylight.
This was the
Get a
50s.
sandwich, sit on a rock, watch the water flow, spout poetry. He used to love to read to me. Read things, make up poems. I mean, this was great.
Is he a real romantic?
Very much so.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Glad
And
to
I
hear that.
liked him.
I love this. The two of you have such a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
So let me talk about, there were so many hangouts in the Bronx. I remember, I want to take a flashback. This is from the film A View from the Stoop. Steve Sampton produced it. He had me host it. This is a clip from the hangouts in the Bronx.
Okay.
In the Bronx, if we weren't dating, we invariably hung out in groups. You could find us at White Castle, consuming sacks of square beef patties with 5 holes, chopped onions, slices of pickled ketchup, all packed into a steaming bun. For sweets, we went to Jan's old-fashioned ice cream parlor, decorated with wooden booths and Tiffany-style lamps, and famous as the home of the renowned kitchen sink and banana boat. Or we went to Crumbs for a soda and bag of candy selected from bins of compelling treats.
Oh, so many years later, I can still taste it. You ever have an egg cream?
I never had one. I've
Okay,
only read
but
about
You
it.
figure out an egg cream. An egg cream was made, but no egg in it.
Yeah, that's what Colin Powell said. But also, observation. We had, what was it, Max Candy Store on our corner. That was on the corner of Allerton Avenue and Wallace Avenue, the intersection. And they had egg creams there, malteds. I loved. We used to make them at home because, you save money if you made it at home.
But they were
Milk,
so good.
chocolate soda, and seltzer.
And no egg.
No egg.
But the frap, back in those
Yeah.
days when we didn't count calories, right? You would get and Jan's, they would put all the ice cream on there and the whipped cream and of course the cherry on the top.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was where we always went after we went to
The Paradise.
the Paradise. Take a look.
The Paradise Theater. Now that was a masterpiece. Built for $4 million in 1929, it had 4,000 seats, a night sky with clouds that drifted across, lights that twinkled like stars, and a skyline of statues and castles above the huge screen. Everything was gold and red velvet. Every nook had statues, busts, and urns. Every ceiling, chandeliers. Every wall, paintings and tapestries. For the price of admission, you entered paradise. And you got to see a double feature, cartoons and newsreel, too.
Then we'd see a cartoon, we'd see the news, we'd see 2 films, and all. How much was it, Arlene?
Well, I didn't go to the Paradise as a daily thing, but when I went to our local Allerton movie theater, it cost, I think, a dime. When it went up to 12 cents, that was like a big deal.
Gee,
and then it went to a quarter. You know.
I seem to remember when it was a quarter.
Yeah.
But those were the great days. Oh,
Yeah,
my goodness.
well, kids went in and it was daylight. They came out and it was dark. I mean, it was rowdy in there. They had a matron with a flashlight.
I remember.
And she was like the Gestapo. You know, she
Oh, my
came down
goodness.
the aisle and if you were misbehaving, she had the power to throw you out. Yeah, I don't know about the Paradise, but at the Allerton Theater, that was routine.
Did she ever take you to the movies up there?
No, but one time we were
I
taking
love
a
this.
detour off the highway because the highway was crowded, and we went through the Bronx and wound up passing the movie theater that she used to go to on Allerton Avenue, and we looked at the marquee, and one of my movies was playing there.
It was The Seduction of Joe Time,
Oh,
and that was
the
the
first-
most amazing
The
thing.
first picture I wrote, so it made a
Yeah.
lot of had a lot of
Yeah.
emotion for both of us.
Oh, that had to be a thrilling moment.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
thrilling.
And now they've turned that theater into a shoe store.
Yeah, to pay less
Isn't it sad to
shoe
see what's
store.
happened to all
is.
these grand palaces?
And
Yeah.
my movies are no longer playing there.
Well, we can still get them on HBO or late night television. We, flip around
Yeah.
800 channels. I see you all the time.
Yeah. But there are most of the movie theaters, the neighborhood movie theaters are gone. They have a few multiplexes in the Bronx. But that whole that neighborhood connection with the movie theater for the kids is different nowadays.
It
and
is.
we walk to everything.
We've lost a lot,
Yeah.
haven't we?
Well, it's different.
New generation.
It's a new generation, new things. Speaking of loss, this I consider a loss. We used to go out in the street to play, to socialize, to get fresh air. Then television came in. We were inside watching, and then air conditioning came in, and we no longer went out for fresh air. And now the streets, you maybe walk from here to there, but it's quite different.
Oh, what a wonderful nostalgic trip. We're going to take a break. We come back and be joined by Steve Samter. He's the founder of Back to the Bronx, and he has a lot more insight and history to talk about. We'll be right back.